Greetings to you on our channel. Today we're going to talk about what it means to be yourself. In a world where there are so many expectations, stereotypes, and pressures, it seems like it's easy to lose touch with ourselves. But what is true authenticity? How do you learn to hear your inner voice and live in harmony with yourself? Let's figure it out together. Sometimes it is difficult to realize yourself as a person, to understand the character, to form principles, to deal with goals and dreams. How to make your character rock solid and become yourself. Of course, people don't like it when you're different from them. They will ridicule you for a long time, condemn you, humiliate you, but it all comes from envy. They can't do what you do, they don't have the guts. It's easier to call someone crazy than to admit you're scared to distinguish yourself from the crowd. Lady Gaga in adolescence and then in life crises, we begin to question our identity. We drown in the hustle and bustle of life, the desires of others, the information noise and the advice of others. Who am I and where am I going? How do you become yourself? 1. Recognize yourself as a person. Take time to reflect on who you are and where you are going. What do you want to achieve and what do your dreams look like? What principles are important to you? What are you willing to fight for and what is not important to you? What kind of person would you like to be and what should you strive for? What kind of people would you like to socialize with? What kind of girl are you looking for? Write down on a piece of paper your basic attitudes in life. Make a written list of your goals in life. What is your plan for the next 5 years? What character traits are worth developing and working on? Recognize yourself as a person. 2. Don't be afraid to be unique. Being normal, standard, and no different from the crowd is foolishness. Every person is a unique individual. You don't need the approval of others to live the life you want to live. You don't have to prove anything to anyone to live someone else's dreams or goals. Don't go against yourself, your life principles and rules. If people around you don't accept you, it's because of their narrow-mindedness. You don't have to like alcohol and clubbing if you have other interests. You don't have to sit in the gym all day and night working on perfect abs. You don't have to fuck every girl you can get your hands on, spending all your money, time and youth on them. You don't have to work from morning till night worshiping money. Don't be afraid to be unique and yourself. 3. Love yourself in the hustle and bustle of life. You are too often told to do this and help that. But we forget to learn to love ourselves. Show reasonable selfishness, defend your interests, learn to refuse and say no to those who want to take advantage of you. Make yourself happy with vacations, good clothes, tasty food, and other small things. Love yourself and find harmony. 4. Be yourself. Don't be a prisoner of other people's opinions. Don't depend on others. Don't try to please and please everyone. Don't compare yourself to others and don't be afraid of imperfection. Stop worrying about how other people perceive you. Surround yourself with positive people. Avoid associating with toxic and critical personalities. Develop and respect your individuality, your style, demeanor, and lifestyle. Don't let others confuse you. Be yourself. All other roles have been filled. Self-esteem. Building self-esteem. It's no secret that you need to have self-esteem to succeed. But how do you know if you have it? What is this feeling in general and what to do if it is not there? So many questions to which, fortunately, there are all the answers. Self-esteem is self-respect, the realization of one's significance, uniqueness, and value. In other words, it is an adequate and healthy attitude towards oneself. The basis for the formation of this feeling is self-esteem. How to understand if a person respects himself. It is necessary to pay attention to his/her opinion about himself/herself, his/her emotions and behavior. In addition, an integral part of self-esteem is understanding the value of everything that surrounds a person, relatives, friends, work, hobbies, etc. Self-value is not given to anyone at birth, but it is formed in childhood. But this does not mean that it is impossible for an adult to change his or her attitude towards oneself for the better. By the way, many people confuse self-esteem with arrogance and inflated self-esteem. However, this is a big misconception. Someone who respects himself will never allow himself to be humiliated or used for the benefit of others. On the contrary, a sense of your own value helps you to evaluate people around you adequately. Perhaps you still have doubts about self-esteem? Then pay attention to the main signs of the presence or absence of self-esteem. After that, you will understand whether you need to do global work on yourself. How do you realize you have self-esteem? Take a close look at the following signs. Don't forget to mark the ones that are exactly right for you so that you can understand yourself better. Point 1. Adequate self-esteem. As you already know, self-esteem is inextricably linked to self-esteem. If you have everything in order with it, you know your strengths and weaknesses, know how to apply them in life, and are confident in most situations. 2. Absolute acceptance of self. When you respect yourself, you accept yourself completely as you are. That is, without any conditions. Not, I will love myself when, but I love myself, period. 3. The ability to defend one's interests. A self-respecting person always defends her interests. This ability is expressed in expressing one's opinion, the ability to say no. It can also include the skill of discussion. If you know how to get your own way, how to refuse others when requests go against your interests, you probably have self-esteem. 4. Naturally, a person with a healthy self-esteem treats others in the same way he or she treats himself or herself. Therefore, if you have a healthy self-esteem, you do not humiliate others and you do not humiliate yourself. 5. A sense of competence. This feeling always comes from within. When you yourself know what you are capable of, what you are good at, that's what it is. Pride after praise from others is not about feeling competent. It can only strengthen your opinion of yourself. 6. Normal self-control. This means maintaining control over yourself, your emotions and behavior in any situation. If you respect yourself, don't get aggressive in an empty place and don't make scandals for any reason. 7. Constant self-development. If you have a developed sense of self-esteem, then you will never find yourself in a quagmire. You like to acquire new knowledge and skills, put them into practice, consider your own mistakes and work on your character and behavior. Ability to build relationships with others. Of course, a self-respecting person is surrounded by the same people. And this is not an accident, but a pattern. A person who understands his own value and uniqueness is able to understand those around him and build harmonious relationships with those who are close to him in spirit. 9. Self-care. An important sign of self-esteem is the ability to take care of yourself. You can safely attribute this sign to yourself if you take care of your health, pay attention to your appearance, keep yourself in good shape, do not abuse unhealthy food and alcohol, do not poison yourself with nicotine and other drugs. So, these are the most striking manifestations of self-esteem. A large number of coinciding items indicate that you have a well-developed sense of self-esteem. Perhaps, on the contrary, you have serious doubts about yourself. Then check out this list of signs of lack of self-respect. What indicates a lack of self-esteem? These signs clearly hint at a lack of self-esteem, so study them carefully. If you find a lot of coincidences, then you don't respect yourself enough. 1. Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem affects self-confidence in general. It is very easy to identify this sign. You find it difficult to make acquaintances. You often do not know what to say to the interlocutor. Do not look in the eyes, slouch, behave sometimes ridiculous, do not believe in yourself. And lastly, you're not sure you're good on your own. 2. Deep dissatisfaction with yourself. This sign is closely related to the first one. Having low self-esteem, you are hardly satisfied with yourself and life. Most likely, you are not satisfied with your own appearance, character, behavior. You feel that you are not capable of anything and have no value in this world at all. 3. Inability to assert personal boundaries. This point includes the inability to refuse if you are not willing and able to help someone. And another thing, if you do not respect yourself, you will not be able to put in place all those who interfere in your life with unsolicited advice and decisions. For expecting approval from others, if you do not have a strong sense of self-worth, you are unlikely to be able to support, praise, and reward yourself for your successes. But you are very good at pleasing others in order to get their approval. 5. Distrust of the world. Do you constantly feel that people look at you with judgment, dislike you, despise you, or want to use you? Do you sense some elusive catch everywhere? This is mistrust of the world, which is a pronounced sign of lack of self-respect. Point 6. Feeling lonely goes hand in hand with a lack of trust in the world. In order to find like-minded people and people close to you, you need to open up. If this is a challenge for you, it's no wonder you feel lonely. 7. Being a victim means not living the way you want, feeling worthless and complaining to others about your unfair fate. If you are one of these people, it means that you do not take responsibility for your life, and naturally, you have no self-respect. 8. Not liking your job. This is not a very clear sign of lack of self-respect, so it should be considered in conjunction with the others. If you respected yourself, you wouldn't take a job that was uninteresting, underpaid, or unloved. The final marker of lack of self-respect is the feelings you most often experience. Systematic shame or guilt suggests that you have trouble recognizing your value and worth. If you have realized that all this is about you, the next step is to examine the reasons for your lack of self-esteem. And only after that you will know how to develop it. Being yourself is not easy, but it is incredibly important. Remember that it is a journey, not an end point. Don't be afraid to ask yourself questions and seek answers that will make you happier. This video is useful. Give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell so you don't miss new episodes. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you find yourself in this complex world? May your life be a reflection of your true essence. See you, friends.